you know what? I'm not there on site, but I'm not losing my mind as a control freak. I'm just letting them do what they think is best. How is Jeff Bezos going to be able to be on the ground looking at every single Amazon hub? He's not going to be able to do it. Really? Someone agreed to that? Welcome back to James Lake Show, and today I'm in my Holland office. I am driving back to Bristol. Actually, Sweet Beaksy is going to be driving me back, and I'm going to be chilling out today. It's going to be a nice day. Do you know, I'm starting to feel like I actually live here, well, half the time in Holland, because here, my BMW, I actually put in to be serviced for the first time in a Dutch service. I know Owen does that with his car, but kind of feels like you're an actual resident when you're using their, like, yeah, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's make a coffee. I'm gonna make Beaksy a coffee, make me a coffee, and then we're gonna chip on. It's gonna be a good day. And I'm looking forward to being back in the UK because the time right now, obviously it's Friday. These videos are fresh. This is done on the morning that you're watching it. Friday the 22nd, if my watch is right. And, oh yeah, payroll was today, wasn't it? Everything gone? Perfect. So guys, we pay everyone on the 24th. So if the 24th falls on a weekend, we get all that set up. That used to be my biggest headache of a job. Obviously 50 people, detail, writing in numbers is not good for me. Beaksy sorts all that now, along with Barry. So shout out to those guys. Beaksy, where is your beautiful mug?
I will have a fresh one from the top left, please.
A fresh mug. Would you have a posh coffee as well?
Yeah, go on then. Thank you.
Okay, what coffee would you like?
Cappuccino, please.
And what questions have we got today, actually?
Questions? Okay. Grab my.
What's that?
It's in the office.
What is?
My the questions.
Oh, right, the questions, sir. Right. Okay, Beaksy has some questions for us. And shout out, I know that some of them are from Devante in the Discord. So if you've got any questions for me, make sure you fire them in the Discord. I'll put the Discord down below and you, find them there.
Yeah, so Devante from the Discord. First question. What's your most difficult part of running two businesses? How do you stay focused and in touch with what's happening on both sides?
It's very difficult. Like I said before in my other episodes, is that control freak is the demise of most people. Like, how is Jeff Bezos going to be able to be on the ground looking at every single Amazon hub? He's not going to be able to do it. So the only way you can do it is you have to have people. And obviously, I'm not comparing myself to Jeff Bezos. I'm using him as an extreme example because his job is like 1 million times, probably not a million, like 1,000 times whatever mine is. So on that basis, you have to think, well, how do you make sure that the good job is done everywhere when you're not there? You have to have people who have the same values as you. So obviously, I feel like everyone always feels that they want to be on the ground because it's stressful, especially when things aren't going well. But I know, like, every one of my killers, like the people who I've been working like shoulder to shoulder with from the day that this was started, like even Beaksy, you got Owen, you got Barry, you got Ken, you got all these people that I know they want the company to operate the same way I want it to operate. So even if I'm not there, even if I'm stressed, I know that they're stressed. There's this very, very cool saying from Miller's Crossing, and it says, I would worry less if I thought that you would worry enough. No, if I thought you worried enough. I'd worry less if you worried enough. I think that's what it is. But the whole point of that is that if I can see you're stressing about your sales, I stop stressing about your sales. We both don't need to stress. But if I'm stressed about sales and I can see that you're just chill, well, yeah, no, that's hard. So I wouldn't be able to operate these two businesses if I didn't have like partners, people that I work with who I trust to death, who I know will look after as it should be looked after. Let's get the coffee. I hope that answers your question, bro. But, it's been a huge learning experience for myself, to be honest, because being able to leave a business on its own for sometimes like a week, 2 weeks at a time, and like trust that everything's been doing right. Yeah, been a lot of growth. But I really think that the growth hasn't just been with the businesses in terms of like physical monetary growth. I've had a crazy amount of like growth myself personally, just being able to be like, you know what? I'm not there on site, but I'm not losing my mind as a control freak. I'm just letting them do what they think is best. And obviously certain things happen and you're like, really? Someone agreed to that? But you just have to get on with it, bro. Otherwise you'd lose your mind and we wouldn't be able to grow. So shout out to Devante. And also Devante has done like 300 grand in sales in the last 12 months. So that brother is showing people that you can still make money, big money on Amazon and eBay. And in fact, this business that turns over $20 million a year or 15 million pounds a year was built from eBay. So there you go. Built from eBay, and now we have a distribution center in Holland and a distribution center in Bristol, UK. And it's a monster. It's going to be crazier though, guys. What other questions do we have?
Devante also
Is that all right? This is only a small
Yeah,
thing.
perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
Devante also asks, how has it been in Europe in terms of doing deals? Has there been any language barrier, or does everyone that does business tend to speak English?
No. We even have members of staff who don't fully speak English. Well, they speak English better than they like, but they feel a bit conscious of it. So no, the language barrier has been absolutely huge. I think the only people who only speak English are us, which is like even more stupid. Like I'm the most unlingual person, and I'm out here with Owen trying to start a business with Beek as well, and none of us speak the language. Beek's a little bit. She speaks some German. She can say Danke schön and this kind of good stuff. But in terms of like learning it, nah, we haven't learned it. And I think it's been a huge learning curve, because you know what the biggest thing is? Like Owen's trying to teach people how to sell. What did that beep?
I think it's over there.
All right, cool. Just checking that I wasn't losing the camera footage with you guys. But Owen was saying that, well, I know this is the biggest thing for Owen, is like you're trying to train people how to sell. And if you're working in the mother tongue, there's little like things he'd be, oh no, change this, change that. So it's very hard for them to reiterate what they're saying in their language and then for you to give advice in yours. Because translation isn't just word to word. It's also cultural. It's also like trying to teach people how to have that shark in them, because teaching someone how to sell isn't just as simple as teaching someone how to ask for an order, although many people don't have the balls to do that, and you need to start by learning. The actual trick of learning to sell is understanding people. So to try and teach people how to sell when you aren't able to listen to what they're saying, challenging. But Owen's done a great job, so shout out to Owen. He's a sales master. That guy, I think he's been top of JLC. In the 4 years he was down there, he was top for 2 of them. Him and Ricky are always at heads. Is that right?
Yeah.
They're like 2 and 2. These two are like the most competitive against each other. And sometimes you're like, Owen has got Ricky destroyed this month. And then Ricky just pulls out some madness. So, yeah. But yeah, shout out to Rick. Rick actually looks after the UK sales. I've been working with that guy now for 7 years. He's my brother. Going on the Cannon run with him actually on the Saturday, which will be fun. And so yeah, but I've got many brothers in this company. But just having that actually goes back to the first question, is it gives you some peace knowing that people care enough. But you also got all of my team care enough. You got Jack, who's been here since day one, head of new business, killer. So yeah, when you've got all those people around you, it's a lot easier. I will say, I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's a lot easier to not stress about being spread thin.
And another question from Devante.
Oh yeah, Devante firing them out.
What are your plans for expanding your market reach?
Plans for expanding the market reach are 2 things. We're gonna get a bigger warehouse in the UK. We're just in the middle of signing that off. And that will essentially mean, I think we're a bit like a fish tank. The bigger the tank, the bigger the fish. So I think that we're at the moment capacity. We can't really put any more product than we're doing. We're making ways to do it, but like we're at capacity in the UK. So I need more space. Once I have more space, we're gonna add more product. And once we have more product, we're gonna grow from that. So it's not just land, it's also like range. We're also gonna be continuing to take land out here in Europe. And take, for example, now, we are probably going to run at around 3 or 4 million a year in Europe after 3 years. I think in another 3 years, this could be doing tens and tens of million. Could be like 50 million. So growth plans coming from product range in UK, territory in Europe, and also we're going to get more territory. Dubai is the next plan. And the reason we're going to go to Dubai is because it's 3 hours behind. You can kind of get ahead of the day. In time, Owen wants to be in Australia and America. And they will happen, I'm sure, but we need to build infrastructure first because they're so far out of time zone and so far out of whack. We need to have everything ironclad first. So my main goals are this. Sorry, this is long and boring, but I just want to tell you guys, my main goals are this. Build the business in Europe, get it heavy metal, making tons of money, and get the UK continuing to perform and build. And then when that's good, we're going to build Dubai when it's safe. And then when Dubai is ironclad, that's when we'll probably branch out to 2. Go America and Australia. And that'll be it. And I think that'll be the time that the JLC empire is probably peaking like the rocket that finally lands on the moon. What do you think, guys? You have to comment down below what you think of my plans. Do you think they'll work? Do you think they're too ambitious? Do you think they're too unambitious? But whatever happens, all of that is going to culminate to reaching a £1 billion turnover. That's my goal, £1 billion turnover. Like I say, I do $20 million right now, £15 million. I say dollars because it applies to a wider audience to watch this, but obviously most of my business is done in pounds sterling. But the reason I don't want to say 100 million is because I can see 100 million. It's like we're staring at it. It's going to be very close. So a billion seems like the only thing that's going to be like a stretch target, you know, that's going to get the best out of us. So that's where we're going. And then people will say, yeah, you don't need to be that greedy. You don't need a billion. I'm not trying to get a billion, idiot. Once I turn over, once I sell the company, the money can go to people who need it. I just want to see how far I can push myself. And I actually think that's what we should all be doing. We should all be going to bed seeing what of our potential could we use. Like I said to you before, I think I'm a master in business. And you could say, well, if you go bust tomorrow, I'll laugh at you. No, you couldn't. Because if I go bust tomorrow, that only cements me being a master in business. A master has to have all the extremities. They have to go through the ups and the downs. If you just go through the ups, how are you going to have wisdom on the downs? So that's it, guys. I'm going to go to 1 billion. And I hope that answers your question. I'm going to get on the road now. Time is 20 to 9 UK. So if we get there, I'll be eating fish and chips by 6 p.m. So God willing. Ready for a big day, Beaksy?
Ready for a big day.
All right, guys. Well, I love you all. Subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up the video. Follow me on Instagram. And let me know what you thought of today's video. Join the Discord and comment on any questions you have about business that you want me to answer. I love you all. Over and out.